Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, May 7th, and today is AMI Day 33. And I have no announcements for today, so we'll go ahead and get started with your AMI work for today. Once again, it's AMI Day 33. And so we'll get started. And since today is Thursday, you're going to choose a math option, a science option, and then one of those specialty activities to complete. So we'll go ahead and get started with your math. So we'll look at it together, and then we'll solve some of them together. So here is your AMI work for today. And get everything situated. Okay, so you start with math, and you can choose an option for math. So option 1 says use the US standard algorithm. So they want you to use the standard method to solve each of the multiplication equations below. If by chance you don't want to do the standard method for all of them, it would be okay if you did some of the other methods we talked about and learned about at school. We've learned about the box method, the break apart method, and we've also done the standard method. Today we will do the break apart method because last time we reviewed the box method. So today we'll review the break apart method of how to solve these problems, and we'll also review the standard method for how to solve these problems. So that's if you choose to do option 1, you're going to solve these 10 multiplication problems, multi-digit multiplication. Option 2 is to log on to iStation Math and work on the math section for 30 minutes. So you can follow this link and it'll take you directly to iStation and how to log on to iStation from home. If by chance you still need your usernames or passwords for iStation, message me and let me know and I can get those for you. But today would be to log on to iStation Math and work on the math section for 30 minutes. If by chance you're completely finished with iStation Math, then you could move on to working on something like Freckle Math or Prodigy, ST Math, Extra Math, any of those that are going to help you review math problems and help you learn different strategies. So work on iStation. If you're completely done with iStation, then work on ST Math or Freckle Math or Prodigy or Extra Math. And if you need passwords or usernames for any of those, please let me know. Or you could choose to do option 3 for math today, which is to follow that My Arkansas PBS link, and it'll take you to the PBS website and to the math section of the AMI work and videos. And at the top, you'll just filter by, click where it says filter by, scroll down to 5, and you'll filter by 5 for 5th grade. And choose any of those 5th grade math videos to watch. You can choose any of them and just follow along with what the video asks you to do, and that would count as your math work for today. Or if you have the PBS channel on your television, you can watch any of those grade level appropriate programs, or choose to do a math activity that's on the PBS packet attached to the back of your AMI work if you have the physical packet that you picked up at school. So for option 1 of math, we're just going to kind of review. We're going to review the break apart method, and then we're going to do the standard method. So we'll start with number 1 and work it together. Number 1 is 453 times 67. So I'll go ahead and come back to me so we can work that out together. Let me re-look at what the problem is. 453 times 67. Whoops, and I erased my 4. Okay, so I just wrote the problem at the top of my board, 453 times 67. And now we're going to do the break apart method with it. So we'll start with 400. So the 400 part of our 453. So we'll do 400 times 7, 50 times 7, and 3 times 7. So we're just breaking apart that 453. So we have the 400, 50, and 3, and we're multiplying each part of the 453 by the 7 in our 67. That's where we got the 7 from. Now we're going to break it apart again. So we're going to do 400 times 60, 400 times, or not 400, we already wrote 400. 400 times 60, 50 times 60, so we're breaking apart that 453, 50 times 60, and 3 times 60. So we just broke it apart again, 400, and then we used our 60 part of our 67. So this time we used the 60 in our 67, and so we said 400 times 60, 50 times 60, and 3 times 60. Now what we have to do, now that we've listed broke it apart and listed all our problems that we need to solve, now we need to solve these. So I'll put our equal sign. We'll start with 400 times 7. So first we can look at the 4 and we can look at the 7 and we can think, okay, what is 4 times 7? If you don't know, you can look it up online. You can use a multiplication chart. Use the facts that you do know. So you should know 4 times 5. So let's think about 4 times 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. 4 times 5 is 20. So 4 times 6 would be 24. 4 times 7 would be 28. So we'll put that 28. Try not to erase my numbers as I write. It's not a very pretty 28, but there's 28. But 28 is not our answer because 400 times 7 is not 28. Let's look at these zeros. We have 2 zeros on our 400. 2 zeros on our 400, so we know we can add those zeros to the end of our 28. My handwriting is horrible, but 400 times 7 is 2,800. And I'm going to put our little comma here so that we know that that's 2,800. So 400 times 7 is 2,800. Then we're going to do 50 times 7. So we can start it the same way. We can think of 5 times 7. So let's think of the 5 times 7. Okay, so we can count by 5s. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So 5 times 7 is 35. But 35 is the answer to 5 times 7. 50 times 7 is not 35. But we know that we have 1 0 on our 50. So we're going to add that to the end of our 35. So 50 times 7 is 350. And then we have 3 times 7. 3 times 7. So maybe you don't know what 3 times 7 is. Let's ask Siri. Hey Siri, what is 3 times 7?
3 times 7 is 21.
All right, thank you. Siri told us that 3 times 7 is 21, so there it is. We have no zeros to add there. And then we're going to go to 400 times 60. So we can start that by looking at our 4 and our 6. Okay, so what is 4 times 6? Well, remember we know that 4 times 5 is 20, so let's add an extra 4 to that to get 4 times 6. So 4 times 6 is 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 4 times 6 is 24. But 400 times 60 is not 24. That's not enough. So let's look at how many zeros we'll add. We have 2 zeros on our 400, 1 0 on our 60. So altogether, we're going to add 3 zeros to the end of our 24. And that's going to make, adding a little comma in, that's going to say that 400 times 60 is 24,000. And we can double check that. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. What is 400 times 60?
400 times 60 is 24,000.
24,000. So we got it. Now we're going to, oh, I keep erasing my problems here. Okay, now we're going to move on to 50 times 60. So let's look at our 5 times 6. Let's see, we know what 5 times 6 is. So 5 times 6 is 30. But 50 times 60 is not 30. That's not quite enough. So let's look. Our 50 has 1 0 and our 60 has 1 0. So we're going to add 2 zeros to the end of our 30. So that makes, I added a little comment in, it looks a little weird. 50 times 60 equals 3,000. Now we're going to go to our last problem that I keep erasing with my hand. Our last problem is 3 times 60. So 3 times 60, so let's think about 3 times 6. 3 times 6 is what? So let's think about it. 2 times 6 is what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 2 times 6 is 12. Let's add another 6 to get what 3 times 6 would be. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 3 times 6 is 18. And then, but 3 times 60 does not equal 18. That is not enough. So let's see, our 60 has 1 0. So we're going to add that to the end of our 18 to get 180. But we are not done because we still do not have our answer to 453 times 67. What you need to do next would be to add up all these answers. So you're going to add all these together. Your 2,800, 350, 21, 24,000, 3,180. So you have to add all those answers together in order to get your answer to 453 times 67. So add all those answers together to get your big answer for 453 times 67. And I'll stop there and let you guys figure it out by adding all those answers together. So add up all those answers and get your final answer for 453 times 67. So I walked you through the big part of it. Now you have to add it together to find that answer. So now we'll go to number 2 on your problem list, and we will work that one using the standard method. So number 1, we did the break apart method. For number 2, we're going to do the standard method together. And the standard method is really the method they want you to use to solve all of them. So we're going to review the standard algorithm for solving multi-digit multiplication problems. So number 2 is 200, let me go ahead and write it out, 257 times 54. Okay, so I wrote out my problem, 257 times 54. And in order to do the standard algorithm, I'm going to stack those numbers. So I'm going to rewrite it like this, 257 times 54. So I just stacked it, rewrote it like that, because that's going to make it easier doing the standard algorithm. So we're going to start with 7 times 4. So remember, 7 times 4, 7 times 5 is 20, 7 times 6 is 24. Wait, not 7 times 6, and not 7 times 5. 4 times 5. I'm telling you the wrong numbers. Don't listen to any of that. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 6 is 24. I'm losing my mind. 4 times 7 is 28. So we're going to put our 8, carry our 2 from our 20. Our 2 represents our 20. And now we're going to do 5 times 4. So we know 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 4 is 20, and then we're going to add that 2. So it's going to be 22. And I'm going to mark that off because I used it. So I put my 2, and then I'm going to carry my other 2 that represents my 20. Now we're going to do 2 times 4. It's really like doing 200 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8, plus another 2, 9, 10. So that's our 10. We have nowhere else to carry, so we just put that 10 there. So we've got, so far we've got 1,028. Now here's the important part. We have to put that happy 0. Because if we don't put that happy 0, the problem won't work and you will have a sad teacher. So put that happy 0. He looks extra happy today. So put your happy 0 first thing on that next row. Put that happy 0. Now we're going to switch over and we're going to do 7. So this is like doing 7 times 50. So let's think, what is 7 times 5? 7 times 5 is 35. So I'm going to put my 5, and then I'm going to carry the 3 that represents the 30. Carry that 3. And now we're going to do here, which is like doing 50 times 50 if we're talking about the place values. It's like doing 50 times 50, but we can simplify it and think, okay, what is 5 times 5? 5 times 5 is 25. And then we're going to add that 3 that we brought up there. 5 times 5 is 25, 26, 27, 28. So we put our 8 from our 28 down here. And we're going to carry our 2 that represents our 20 from our 28. Now we have to do this here, which is like saying 200 times 50. But so we'll think, okay, 2 times 5 is 10, plus another 2 is 11, 12. We have nowhere else to carry, so we put the whole 12 down there. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So then we have 12,850. And in order to find our answer, we don't have our answer yet. In order to find our answer, we have to add all of that together. So 8 plus a happy 0 is still 8. Can be a happy 8. 2 plus 5, so 5, 6, 7. 2 plus 5 is 7. 0 plus 8 is going to give us 8. 1 plus 2 gives us 3. And we're going to bring down that 1. So our total answer to 257 times 54 is, I'm going to put our little comma in there, 13,878. Let's double check with Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. What is 257 times 54?
257 times 54 is 13,878.
Perfect. We got it. 13,878. That is using the standard algorithm. So that is how you will solve your math problems today. You have 1 through 10, and we did 1 together. We did number 1 together using the break apart method. We did number 2 together using the standard algorithm. And really, they want you to use the standard algorithm for all of them. But if you're still struggling with the standard method, the standard algorithm for how to solve these multi-digit multiplication problems, you can use the other methods that we learned in class. We learned the break apart method that we practiced today, and we've learned the box method, which we practiced in Tuesday's video. So we know the break apart method, the box method, and we know how to do the standard algorithm. So try all those different strategies and methods for solving these multi-digit multiplication problems. If you choose to do option 1, you have 10 problems to do. Maybe do some of them using the standard algorithm, do some other ones using the box method, do some using the break apart method. Do what works for you and what helps you, because I don't want you to stress about this too much, but I want you to use those strategies you know how to use. So that's if you choose to do option 1 for math today. After you choose to do an option for math, you're going to choose a science option. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again, and we are going to look at the science options together. So let me situate my screen again and scroll us down so we can look at our science options for today. Zoom in a little bit. So for science, option 1 says, on a separate sheet of paper, draw a line down the middle of the page, label the left column living things and the right column non-living things. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on my board here. Whoa, that is not a straight line. I'm going to try that again. If I can draw a straight line. My line's not going to be very straight, but on the left side, left column, living things. Right column, non-living things. Non-living. I'm just going to write non-living. Oops, that's a weird looking V. Oh, I'll go ahead and write things. Non-living things. Okay, so this is what they want you to do. Up here in the little video box, draw a line right down the middle of your page. One side, write living things. Other side, write non-living things. Then it says, walk around your house and write down objects you see on your paper under the column the item should be classified. So walk around your house. When you see a living thing, write it down under living things. When you see a non-living thing, write it down under non-living things. How should your things in your house be classified? So where would you put your mom on that list? Is your mom a living thing or a non-living thing? She is a living thing, so you can put mom. Your dog. Is your dog a living thing or a non-living thing? Your dog is a living thing. Mom, dog. Okay, think about non-living things. So maybe you walk by your couch. Is your couch a living thing or a non-living thing? A couch is a non-living thing. So we'll write it over there. Maybe you walk by a chair. A chair is a non-living thing. It doesn't breathe air. And that rhymes. Non-living things, examples, couch, chair. Living things, your mom's living, your dog is living. So think about those things. How would you classify the things around your house? Once you've recorded 10 or more items, look at your list. Which column did you find more objects? So are there more living things or non-living things in your house? If you listed everything, and then think, if you listed everything inside your home, which column would have more? Living or non-living? If you listed every item in your house, you don't have to, they're just telling you to think about it. Think about it. If you listed everything in your house, under which column it goes under, living or non-living, which would you have more of? Record your answers on the bottom or back of the paper to be turned in. So you're gonna make that list of things, categorize them as living or non-living, answer the question, if you were to list everything in your house, which would you have more of? You could say, I would have more non-living things. I would have more living things. And then that's what you would turn in if you chose to do option 1 for science today. Or you could choose to do option 2. Option 2 says, using a separate sheet of paper as your recording sheet, find and name 5 things made of glass. Find and list 5 things made of wood. Find and list 5 things made of metal. Find and list 5 things made of plastic. Make your own find and list direction by filling in the blank. Find and list 5 things made of what? Fabric, maybe? You can say fabric, 5 things made out of cardboard. Anything like that. So find and list 5 things made of glass. Find and list 5 things made of wood. So you could make little columns. You could say glass, and you could even number underneath it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could say wood and number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it said 5 things made of metal. Metal, and then plastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll stop sharing the whole screen and show you what I did here. So if you choose to do option 2 for science, you could make something like this. Glass, so you have the heading that says glass, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 underneath that. Find 5 items that are made of glass, write them on that list. Then find 5 items that are made of wood, write them on that list. Then you do metal, plastic, and then make up your own category. So maybe my next category I could have made, me erase, and I'll make up a category. So I could say things made of, we'll do things made of fabric. And then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe you, for your fifth heading, you could do fabric, or maybe cardboard, or anything like that. Maybe leather, maybe you have a bunch of leather furniture. So fabric, so you can put like a pillowcase, blanket, anything like that. Clothes, you have lots of clothes in your house and they're all made with fabric. So that's another heading for that one. You're supposed to, for your very last heading, you're supposed to make up your own heading. So you can think fabric because you're already doing wood, plastic, metal, and things like that. So think of that last heading for you. So come up with that last heading for you to find things for. Let's go back to sharing the screen. So yeah, so it says make your own find and list direction by filling in the blank. Find at least 5 things made of blank. Then follow your directions. Maybe you say find and list 5 things made of fabric, and then list 5 of those. Okay, so that's for option 2. So you're just going to choose one of those options for science today after you choose a math option. And then to end up your AMI work for today, you're going to choose a specialty activity to do. So let's look at PE together. Option 1. Let's start with option 1. Option 1 for PE, push-up hockey. Get a family member to play. So you're going to need someone to play this game with you. Push-up hockey. You will need a smooth surface to play on, like tile or something that will slide. A tile and something that will slide, like a beanbag or a stuffed animal. So maybe find a tiled area in your home. Maybe possibly your kitchen has tile, or if you have wood floor throughout your house, you can use any of those wood floors. You will need a smooth surface to play on, like tile or wood, and something that will slide, like a beanbag or a stuffed animal. While both are in push-up position, so you and whoever you're playing with are going to be in push-up position, facing each other. You're going to face each other in push-up position. Try to score a goal by sliding the beanbag between your partner's hands. So one person may be on one side of the room, the other person's on the other side. You're facing each other in push-up position. You're going to try and slide a beanbag, stuffed animal, something through the other person's hands, between the other person's hands. So while both are in push-up position facing each other, try to score a goal by sliding the beanbag between your partner's hands. Or you can choose to do option 2 for PE today, which is play basketball with paper balls from day 31. So remember on day 31, we made paper balls to do different PE activities. If you still have that paper ball, you can use it, or if you threw it away, you can make a new paper ball. Play basketball with paper balls. Try to shoot into a trash can or laundry basket. So it's like trash ball. You're playing trash ball at home. So try to shoot into a trash can or a laundry basket. You can play horse with a family member. Rules: you can't move the goal. So sit the goal in one place and don't move it. Make up some trick shots. So you can do some trick shots. Example, try to make a shot on your knees from behind your couch. So maybe you sit the trash can, maybe the trash can is sitting in front of the couch, and you get behind the couch on your knees and try to shoot from behind the couch. So you're pretty much playing trash ball at home with a paper ball and a trash can or a laundry basket. So come up with some trick shots and have some fun with it. Or you could choose to do music today. Let's look. It says, ooh, draw the grand staff. So today you're learning to draw the grand staff. So it says the grand staff is created by joining the treble staff and the bass staff. So we've learned how to draw the treble staff. We've learned how to draw the bass staff. Now you're going to combine them to draw the grand staff. So it's created by joining the treble staff and the bass staff with a brace and bar line brace. So on number 1 here, it says practice creating the grand staff by tracing the braces, bar lines, and clefs. So you're going to just trace. So for number 1, you're just tracing everything. Trace all of this stuff. So you're going to trace all of it, even the lines here. well, maybe, well, those are pretty thick, so I don't guess you have to trace those. But here, trace that, trace this little swirly thing here, and then trace all of that. So trace all of it. Practice creating the grand staff by tracing the braces, bar lines, and clefts. So you're tracing the clefts, the bar lines, so you do have to draw those lines, and all of this here, the braces. That's a brace. So trace the brace, the bar lines, and the clefts. So trace all of that, and you're going to trace all of it 4 times. Okay, and it says using these staffs below, create 4 grand staffs by adding braces. So that's the things on the side here. Bar lines, so that's a line on each side. So draw a line, and then the clefts. So you draw exactly everything you see up here when you trace is what you're going to draw on these lines down here. So you're going to practice drawing those, and you're going to practice it 4 times. You're going to trace it 4 times, and then practice drawing it 4 times. And you're going to draw exactly what you traced on each of these. Okay, so there's your option for music today. Or you could choose to do art. Let's scroll down and look at your art options. Okay, so option 1 for art today. Draw a picture outside. Find something, so go outside with your paper and a pencil and draw something while you're outside. Find something in your yard that you can draw a close-up picture of. Then use your crayons to create rubbings to form texture on your drawing. So maybe you draw a tree, and on your tree trunk that you drew, go up to the actual tree and do a rubbing to get that texture of tree bark. So that's option 1 for art, or you could do option 2, which is draw or paint how the weather is outside today. How are the clouds in the sky? Do you have flowers blooming in your yard? So what does the weather look like outside today? It's pretty sunny outside today. What do the clouds look like? Are there big fluffy clouds? Are there airy clouds? Are there no clouds? So what do the clouds look like today? And do you have flowers blooming in your yard? Maybe you have some flowers blooming. Draw those in your picture too of what it looks like outside today. So that's if you choose to do option 2 for art. And that is all your AMI work for today. So just to recap, you're going to choose a math option, you're going to choose a science option, and then choose one of those specialty activities to do. And as always, remember to stay safe, stay healthy, remember to wash your hands, and remember, guys, that I love you guys and I miss you so much. I wish I could be teaching you in person in class right now, but I can't. But I do hope that these videos help you. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. I'm here to help you, here to teach you, here to get you through all this AMI stuff. We're almost finished. We're in the last leg of our school year. So work hard, finish hard, do your best. And I'm here for anything that you might need. And I believe in you, and you can do this, you guys. I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. Let me know if you need anything. Thank you for watching.